Hello, everyone. I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I am streaming at a new day and a new time. So I'll say this a couple times, but my new live time will be on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. We actually used to be Tuesdays when I first started, and then I had to switch to Wednesdays, and now I'm switching back to Tuesdays at 3. So hopefully this is a good time for everyone. The time change, it's Eastern Standard Time where I am, so it's 3 p.m. And I know some people watch from the East Coast, so I'm thinking that's at noon. So it's not too early. I didn't want to do it too early for anyone on the West Coast. So thank you for your flexibility and your adaptability. And I see that we are on. Mary Lou is here. Awesome. I'm hoping that my regulars are still able to join me at the same time. And if not, there's the replay. So I just had, I don't know, I just saw that I had a bunch of conflicts on Wednesdays in August. And then I looked at the calendar and I thought, well, maybe we'll just switch the day so I don't have to kind of go back and forth. All right, Cindy, you made a live one. I know, so maybe this is a better time for you. So I hope so. Great. So we are going to make some watermelon cards. I'll show you in 1 second. National Watermelon Day is on Thursday, August 3rd, which is my aunt's birthday. So maybe I will give her one of these cards for her birthday. All right, so let me switch here so you can see what we're going to make. So if you look at it, I had nothing watermelon-ish. Nancy's here. Excellent. Hello. And Debbie. Awesome. You guys are like kind of my regulars, so this is perfect. Thank you for switching your schedules if you did, or hopefully it worked and you didn't have to switch anything. So I was doing my newsletter for today that went out today. I was trying to see what's going on in August, and I saw that it's National Watermelon Day. And I actually only eat watermelon when it's really hot out and at a cookout. I won't buy it myself, but I'll eat it then. So anyways, I had nothing watermelon. So what I did was I did a Google search, and just on the Google, I just typed in watermelon cards, and then I pressed images, and I do this a lot for inspiration. And if you do the same thing, you'll kind of see the cards. They weren't Stampin' Up. They were probably, even some of them were done on the computer. You'll see kind of where I got influenced by. So we're going to make each of them. So we're going to start with this one, because this is the first one I did. And so I had, I kind of figured it out. You'll see with my scrap paper here. I'll start from scratch so you can kind of see my whole process. So what I did, Chris is here too. Perfect. Hello. Welcome. All right. This might be a better time for everybody. I'm using the basic white note cards and envelopes. And so they come in a pack of 20. You get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes. And I think they're $7.50. I think it's one of the best deals in the catalog. They pre-scored, it's already scored there. These are great when you need something quick or a beginner, because you already get the card in the envelope, and you can just do a little something and then you have an instant card. So what I did, I just took, it's just scrap piece of paper, and I ripped it. So mine was a little, well, I'm just going to go the longer way. I'm going to make, here, let me show you my card. So, and Polly's here too. Oh, this is great. We have a great bunch. So I'm going to rip the paper. So I'm going to make kind of like this C motion. I'm going to do one for each color. I'm not doing so good. I have a couple pieces. This is too big. That's why. Hold on a second. I just want it a little bit bigger than my card. So let's see. So that's better. All right, so it's just a little bit wider than my card, because then you can either draw with a pencil, which, let's see. Let's do that. We'll draw with a pencil. And that gives me a better place to rip. And I want it ripped because I like the edges it gives. You'll see in a second why I'm doing this. All right, now I'm going to actually do a second one. one for each color. One for the pink and one for the green. I decided to use Melon Mambo, right? That makes sense for watermelon. Although we used to have, what was it called? It was a watermelon color. It's a really nice pink. But that was an in color and we don't have it anymore. All right, Kim is watching on YouTube. Awesome. All right. Excellent. All right. So what I did is I used, so I have my watermelon, I have my Melon Mambo. And I'm going to use a blending brush. And I think partially how I came up with this idea, I just filmed last week. You guys are the first to hear a new class all on blending brushes. And so I did not do this card, but I did a card similar with this masking. So stay tuned for that. That will be announced next week. I'm actually going to start with the green. I'm going to start with the darker green, the shaded spruce. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tape this down because I don't really want it to move. All right. So I can kind of show you on here. What I'm going to do is sponge this part of my green. So I'm taking, yeah, you can see it. All right. So I'm taking my sponge brush and I'm going in circular motions in both directions, just to make sure I get it on both sides. I'm going to start it on my scrap. I'm using just cardboard because sometimes you get a little blob. And then I'm going to, in circular motions, and I do both sides. I should say clockwise and counterclockwise. And then you can make this as dark or as light as you want. So watermelon, sometimes it's shown, but it has, you know, the dark rind, the dark skin on the outside, and then sometimes you have like a little lighter, and then you have the white. So, oh, look what I just did. I'll have to put words on top. I'm gonna open it up. So, this will be it's actually the lighter, and now we're gonna do the darker. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this in a little bit. And I pushed it in, so this thinner is now under this paper. So you'll see in a second. Yeah, oops is right, Nancy. It's all right. Samples don't always make it. All right. So I'm making that a little bit darker. Now, some watermelons, if you want to get fancy, have like the stripes. So if you wanted to kind of do stripes a little bit, you can make some of it darker than others. I don't know how. We're going to do that actually in another card. All right, so now I'm going to pull that out and keep my thumb away because I didn't even bring anything to wash my hands. So now I have the darker rind and the thinner kind of layer. We're going to leave some of it white. Oops. I'm actually going to try to preserve that because we can do the envelope too. So my other ripped piece, and I didn't want to use the same one because if I blend it with a pink, it might pick up some of that green. All right, so how did I do this before? Hold on a second. I have to remember how I did this. I think I turned it this way. That's what I did. Whew. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have to remember what I did. I really did it because I did it here. All right, I flipped it. No, I didn't. I want this to be pink. Oh my goodness. I'm having a summer brain freeze. How did I do this? All right. I'm going to rip another piece of paper because I don't remember how I did it. All right, you know what we're going to do? Here's my pink piece of paper. Look at, see, I even did two pieces. I use that for the edge. Oh my goodness. I can't remember. Cut around his chip. Yeah, that's what I think. Turn the base around. I need people here. I don't know why I can't remember what I did. Because I want it to be pink under here. I want to keep that white. And I know I like inverted stuff. It's all right. Hold on a second. Maybe this is what I did. I think this is what I did. All right, I'm going to do this. This is probably what I did. And then I think I'm going to tape that down so that doesn't move. All right. Whew. All right, there we go. Oop, but we just don't want that one to move. All right, so I'm not sure if this is what I did, but this is going to work. I'll have to remember. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So there is our watermelon, but I don't want to smudge. And so what I did for the envelope, since I have this here that I just smudged, I'm going to put that in here too. Push this in a little bit. The other ones are simpler, if that makes you feel any better. I'll put that there. Tape this down. I think I'm making it more complicated than it was, but that's all right. You guys are seeing how my brain works. So now I'm just going to do a little pink on the envelope because don't we want matching envelopes? All right. I'll take that off. I'm going to take this off. And then that goes in the opposite direction. That goes in the opposite direction. We're going to go like that. And I see you're on. I don't know. I just had a total summer brain freeze. But I'm glad you like the cards. Because I just couldn't remember what I did. So for those of you, I'm going to move this a little bit just to get a little bit darker, right? For that two-tone rind. I mentioned this in my email this morning that Anne, who just hopped on here, I don't know what time it is where you are. It's early. Is coming to visit. And so she and I are going to do a live together. So be ready for some laughs and giggles. All right. So there's my watermelon envelope that actually looks kind of cool. And here's my card. And we just need to, so what I did, minus the smudge that I just did on camera, I looked around, so, like I said, I didn't have any watermelon things. So I looked around to see what I had. And I have this set, which is, I've actually had it for quite a while, the Pansy Patch. And there's this tiny little triangle-ish shape that's supposed to go inside of the little pansies. So that to me looked like seeds. So I think I'm actually going to have it go in the opposite direction. I made little seeds. So, you know what, this one, I did kind of rounded. Like I said, I was kind of copying a card I saw on Google. Let's just we'll do this one kind of random seeds so you can see the difference. And I'm going to show you different ways. If you don't have this stamp set, don't worry. I have a few other ways to show you some seeds, or how to make some seeds. Okay, I don't want to overdo it. And the envelope, I'm going to do it too. All right. Oof. Okay, so we're going to put that one aside since that's all smudgy. This is the one we just made. And so there you go. There's a kind of fun watermelon card. And it can be an anything kind of card. a nice summery card. All right. So this is my other envelope, which is a little darker. Make it a little bit different. Okay. You got 5 a.m. You actually, this is a little later than the other one because you were on 4 a.m. that you have come on live before. All right. So we'll figure out a good time, and you and I can go live when you're here so that your customers can watch you live too and laugh at us. Okay, so I'm done with the sponge research, but I do have a much better class than the demonstration I just did that's coming out next week. I have a lot of information on that coming out, and I'm actually really excited about it. It's like over 100 minutes of video and lots of different styles and techniques and everything. So it's kind of cool. All right, so this is the next one I did. So similar in that the same kind of style, right? So for this one I did all with blending brushes, and this one I just ripped paper, which is much easier. So what I did, I'm actually gonna just put paper in that. I cut out the same size for the pink mambo and the shaded spruce as my card. So it's 3.5 by 5 is the finished size of these note cards and envelopes. So what I'm going to do is, this is way more size than I need, but I'm just going to rip kind of on that curve. So, and then I'm going to actually flip it over because hopefully you can see the kind of the ripped paper. This paper, the Stampin' Up! Cardstock, is color through and through, which is really nice, but it's kind of nice to see the texture. They actually this year do have some paper that you can see white on the middle so that when you rip, you get a little white on the inside. I'm going to do the same thing. This is soft seafoam. It's the same with, and then these two will go together. Again, so my rind's not exactly symmetrical. And then on the mambo, I embossed it. I happen to have, you see, this is the raindrops embossing folder, which to me kind of look like watermelon seeds. So I already, I already embossed that. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rip. And this one, you can actually, I don't want this piece, I want this piece, so you can actually kind of see the rips on there. So it's going to go like that. This one is much easier, not even messy because we're not even using ink. All right, so before I glue them down, I just want to see where I'm at. So because I kept them the same size as the note card, I knew I was going to have to trim them, but you can kind of decide where you want them to be. So I'm going to glue that one down first. And you can make your rind however you'd like. And then I'm going to glue this one down, and it's going to go, it's going to be bigger than I need. So I'm going to put glue on the card versus this piece of paper, because then I would have glue everywhere. And what I'll do after it dries, I'll just turn it over and cut it. Same thing on this one. I'm going to close it. I'm going to decide where I want it. So I'm going to put glue on this edge because I know I want this edge to be down. But then I'm going to put glue on this edge. Again, so I don't have any overlaying glue. And I cut all my pieces of paper the same width. So I knew that I would have, like, the heights would be different. So you could either take this to the paper trimmer and cut, or you could just cut it with scissors, which I'm just going to do. I think it's fun to have summertime cards. Like, summer seems like it's rushing very fast, so we need to hold on to it. And when I was looking up for ideas of what to write about, you know, I know it's like the dog days of summer. I don't have any dog stamps, so that's why I went with watermelon. All right, so now for the seeds for this one, oops, I did black hearts. So I already have here 1, 2, 3, and the little heart die came from the Give It a Whirl, which I've used. You know, I actually I think I used it last week. So you could either, like this one, I kind of played with it. This one, maybe I'll just have them all go in the same direction. And I used dimensionals. Well, I even have black dimensionals. My mini ones are downstairs, so I'll just cut little pieces. All right, so I'm going to start with the center one, just because I think I can probably center that better. And you could, stamp some words and put it on the front, but this one actually kind of liked it without the words on the front, and I'll decide what I want it for, and I will stamp it on the inside. I'm just going to use my tweezers because I think I can look and center it better. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the black hearts. Oh, yeah. Mary Lou, I didn't even think about using black enamel dots, and I have some, but definitely. And if you don't have some, you can take like rhinestones or pearls, and if you have like the dark gray or the black blender pen, blends marker, you can color them too. All right, so those are two different versions of that. And I was thinking you can even have it go in this direction. So maybe I'll make one later and just have, pink on here and the green on here. But I don't want to, keep you too long. All right, so we have 2 more styles to make. So this one, I'm using all the same color papers. Oh, that was actually extra. Didn't need that one. This is what I wanted. And the card is this one and this one. Remove these. All right. So same colors. And so what I did is this one has that same raindrop embossing, and I glued seeds, which I'll show you in a second. And I'll show you this too. This one I didn't emboss. I left it plain in case you didn't have the embossing folder. And I stamped, I'll show you kind of a way how I stamped the seeds, because I know not everyone has everything. All right, so what I did was I cut rectangles. They're a little smaller than the cards. So what are they? I don't remember. They are 3 inches by 4 3/4. And we don't need the ink in here, so I'm going to close it so I don't make a mess. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to close that black ink too. That we will use. Is I'm just going to cut these 2 on the diagonal. So I'm just going to line up the corner to corner. And cut. So you can make actually 2 cards with these, and corner to corner like that. So I'm actually going to flip them over because I guess I should have, it doesn't matter, but I could have cut the diagonal on the opposite way. So we're going to go that way, just so the rhine's kind of on the bottom. So what I did for this one, actually we are using these. I used the sponge daubers. So it's the same color, the shaded spruce. I'm going to start a little bit off because you can get like a mark. And I'm just going to, I'll start light at first and then I'll get darker. Not any more ink. I'm making those stripes. I tried it with a blends marker and it was too like linear. I liked the shading that these did because you can press them dark or light as you want. You can leave it plain too. You could use your finger if you didn't have this, but you would obviously get pretty inky or a cotton ball, something. We'll kind of figure it out. But these are, they end up being like $1 each. And what I do is I washi tape. This one says Coastal because it was Coastal Cabana, but then I turned it into Shaded Spruce. I'll have to change my label. I just write on the washi tape or masking tape or whatever you have the name of the color, because sometimes they're hard to tell, like that looks black. All right, so that has a little bit of coloration on there. And then, thank you, Mary Lou. What I did on one of them, on the plain one, I actually, I did some of the raindrops, so I'll save those. But on the plain one, if you want, you don't want it plain. Now this sponge dubber has been used a lot, so it's getting kind of towards its end of life here. But you can make some texture in there. See what I mean? So it's not just flat. Oh, here we go. You can kind of see this one has a little texture with the sponging. That one's plain. So you can use either, just to give you guys some options. All right, so you can kind of see how these come together. I'm going to use those note cards and envelopes again. Two. Or actually, no, I'll just do one, but I'll show you. All right. So I cut a strip, a couple strips of soft sea foam, again, for that kind of rind. And I cut it purposely longer than I needed it. And you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. I think what I'm going to do, though, is actually put on my pink first, because then I can kind of play with that rind. That I remember. And you could do this on a bigger card, you know, a regular card. You could do it on the little square cards. I'm actually going to show you a cute little square card, like the little mini ones. All right, so now I can play. I played with this and used a scallop die, but I didn't think it looked right. I thought it just needed to be kind of plain. You could rip it, but then these edges are straight. So you again, you just play with it. So now I can kind of see the thickness that I have that white. And then this will go on next. Like that. And then you flip it over and you cut. I think this is easier doing it this way rather than trying to figure out how long you need it to be on the diagonal. You just cut it off. And then you go. So you could even leave it like that. I think it's kind of cool. But you can stamp a little greeting on there. And then I'll show you how I made those seeds without, oh, actually I have to glue on the other ones. All right, so let's see how I get this on here. I have extras just in case. Oh, we have a first-time watcher. Hello, Lily. Thanks for tuning in. I'll show my face at the end so you can see what I look like. But I love having new people join us, so thank you. So we're making these fun, different, I'll show you at the end too, different styled watermelon cards. I'm just looking. I'm just trying to make sure I got kind of inky, so I'm just trying not to smudge any more than I already have. All right, so I send out a lot of thank you notes, so that's why I'm doing thanks. So you could leave it like that, or you want some black seeds on there. So what I did, this is part of the pansy patch. Oops. That same set that I showed you that I stamped the little seeds. There's 3 cuts 3 at once, and you get these like little, I'm gonna call them seeds, little watermelon seeds. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to randomly put glue on there, and I'm gonna actually pick them up with my tweezers, hopefully. And these ones actually I'm gonna go in the opposite direction of my other ones, just so it doesn't matter, but just so you can see. It's like a rounded teardrop, this shape. And I used, see how little glue I used, and look, it still came out, so you hardly need any. Oh, Alice, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm so glad. Oh, so maybe my time change is actually suiting more people, so this is great. Welcome. Please come back. So now come back every Tuesday at the same time. For me, it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. We do different projects each week. It's like, sometimes you guys refer to a class, and kind of it is like a little class. So there you go. So the glue will dry clear, and so you have that. This one I just put a little of the black and white gingham ribbon underneath, which I should have done, but now it's too late. But I want to show you how I did those seeds. Like if you don't have the pansy patch die set, here you go. One thing you can do is, I did this a long time ago and I saved it. So this was from whenever Girl Scouts turned 100, which was many years ago. But I used this eraser as a stamp. So it's because it was the eraser had never been used before. So you can use little, I've used it for ghosts' eyes. You know, you can use it for whatever, but that's another way of making little dots, and in this case, watermelon seeds. All right, so I have one more fun card, which I think is a cute little watermelon card. I'll make up some more. I'm gonna have a bunch of cards to send out. Let's make sure, again, I'm all inky. This cute little, I like little cards. I like square cards, actually. This little one. So what I did was, thanks, Mary. I use circles. So I use, you guys see me, or those who watched, and if you're brand new, you're going to see that I use this set all the time. It's called Stylish Shapes. And I use pretty much always the circles in these pennant things, sometimes the squares, but always the circles. So I use the largest circle of white and green shaded spruce, the next smaller down for the pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the circles in half. So this circle measures 3 inches. So I'm going to cut this one as best I can at 1.5. So now I can have 2 watermelon bases. And then on the white one, I'm going to cut it again on 1.5. I was just looking, I think I actually cut it a little smaller, but we will deal with that after. And then the pink one, I'll do that in 1/2 also. So that is pretty close to 2.5. So I think 1.25. 1.25 is pretty close to the halfway mark. And then what we're going to do, right, because circles would be the same diameter, I'm going to cut 1.25. So here, 1.25, you can actually kind of see it on both sides. Yeah. I'm going to cut that in half. This I'll save for another card. And then I'm going to take these 2 and cut these in half. So I'm going to take the point and actually put it all the way up in here, so in the track, so you can kind of see that it's straight. I'm just making little pie wedges. Maybe we'll have to do this for like an apple pie card or something, pumpkin pie card. I don't know if you remember when Paper Pumpkin just started out. So I don't know. I don't think it's quite 10 years old. Maybe, I don't know, however many old. They had a kit that was pie wedges. And it just reminds me of that. But we'll have to do something with that for Thanksgiving. So remind me. All right. So I'm looking for this just so it's a little bit better. So these two are the same size. So I'm just going to offset them a little bit and glue it together that way. So I put the glue on the white. I'm not going to go quite up to the top because it will overhang just a little bit. Like that. And so now these guys, because it's smaller, they should all fit in there. Here's my card. So I'm going to start with the two middle ones. And as best I can eyeball it, I'm going to put those in there. Like that. I'm using Melon Mambo for my pink. But the sweet sorbet would look really nice. If you have, there was a color called strawberry slush. I think I just moved that so it's straight. That would look nice. The lovely lipstick was really close to this color. And I'm pretty, oh, it was Watermelon Wonder. I knew there was a watermelon color a long time ago. It was a little lighter than this. So then I'm just gonna go like that. And then the green I'm using is Shaded Spruce. All right, so this one is a little bit different, even though I cut the same sizes. Not all watermelon slices are going to cut the same, so it's slightly different. I'm just trying to see if I can get my borders to be similar. All right, so if you get really nitpicky, it overhangs a little bit, but it's not going to matter on the card. And then I had some of those, I think the heart might be a little big, but you could even do one black heart. But I'm going to do those little, hold on though, I just knocked them all over. My little seeds. There's 1, 2, I should have. All right, you know what? Oh, there they are. I was going to say. There we go. And I'm just going to put a little glue down on the card because it's much easier than trying to put little glue on these guys. You're welcome. Ask questions anytime. I try to keep looking up at the screen to make sure that I don't miss anything. But that's how we learn, right? We ask questions. I came up with those ideas. I was saying at the beginning because I didn't have anything watermelon-ish. I just did a Google search, and this is a lot of times what I do. And so I just typed in Google watermelon cards. And if you do the same thing, you will see some of the cards that influenced me with these designs. And oh no, did I may not have brought up. It's okay. We're gonna cut one. We're gonna cut one of these. This is those note cards and envelopes. So I need it to be 3 inches. I did not bring up. Oh yes, I did. I just found it. Okay. Well, I was gonna cut that to be the right size card. So I did use thick white, and I made my base. So I cut 6 inches by 3 inches and scored in half. And these fit in the little envelopes. That is, I'll find it. It's on the table somewhere. And so this is just going to go on like this. But I'm going to stamp first. I learned this lesson. Stamp your words first, so that you can put your watermelon then. So this happy birthday is also from the pansy patch. So it really, That's kind of the set that I used. And then on this, you could pop up, but I'm just going to glue it down. It's just going to fit. Oh, that's so cute. So here's the other one. They look similar, except for this watermelon has a much thicker rind than that one, but that doesn't matter. And I know I thought I decorated a little envelope to go with it. So bear with me for a second. I'll see if I can find it. But in the meantime, I will actually put all these cards down so you can see what we made. So these two kind of the same. Actually, I'm going to put down, this is the one we just made, but I'm going to put this one down because it shows the ribbon. And then make sure I'm all on the screen here. Those were the two ripped papers. And then this is the one that I picked up and smudged. But I do have the prettier one. Move that ink out of the way. And I do not see the little envelope. I thought I decorated a little envelope, but I don't see it to match these guys. But you can, just sponge or do something. So those are all on screen, right? Okay. So I'll leave those on screen. Perfect. Okay. I'm glad you guys like them. Thank you. They are fun summertime cards. So let's see what's happening in August. I can't believe it's already August 1st. If you qualified for bonus days coupons, you can use those from today all the way to August 31st. I actually used some of mine today, and a little box will pop up. It will say like promo code or something. So just put those code numbers in there. It was fairly easy. I'm glad you like them, Polly. Yeah, I love little mini cards. I think they're just really cute. Let's see. Kits are all on sale all month long. They're either 10, 20, or 30% off. And if just a quick link to go to the kits, if you just do Mail Something Pretty, oh, my hands are in the way, mailsomethingpretty.com/kits, that will bring you right to the kits page. And a new kit is starting tomorrow. It is thanks to Anne, who gave me a sneak peek because she's in the South Pacific and they find out things sooner than I do. It is a Christmas tags kit, so it's really cute. So that is starting tomorrow, and that will be on sale as well. So I think that's what's happening in August. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I know, the little one's really cute. I'll probably make some more because there's, I put up the stamp set. You see the, this is a stamp, so I used happy birthday, and there's a cute little thank you. I like the script, so that would fit in there too. But sometimes I think you do happy birthday with the little cards more than you would do a thank you, unless you're, I don't know. But I think they're cute. So anyways, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad we had a great crowd today on our new time, the Tuesdays at 3 Eastern time. I think we'll see, but I think that this time change should work. Once in a while, we might have to change something, but for the most part, it should work. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.